Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today, our theme is the sheath or layer of the body known as the Vijnana or awareness body. It's the fourth layer of the body in yogic philosophy. We've done the food or physical body. We've done the energy or prana body. We've done the mind body, which is the mind that thinks and looks out and connects with the world. And now we're doing the awareness body, which looks inwards, sometimes called the witness consciousness. So we'll be coming inwards today. Join me now for some breathing to get started. Finding a seat, letting the hips and legs settle down, the spine alert yet relaxed, chin a bit tucked and crown going towards the sky. Bring the attention into the body as a whole, feeling its weight, feeling its gravity as it interacts with the earth. Be aware of the temperature of the body. Some places cool, some places warm. Bringing your attention to the breath. Come inwards with the breath into the lungs, feeling the fronts of the lungs, the sides, the backs of the lungs expanding, and letting go. Follow the breath down into the rib cage, feeling the rib cage opening, front, sides, back. Follow the breath down into that cradle of the diaphragm as it expands down into the belly and contracts up, emptying everything out. Let the mind come inwards into the arms, all the way down to the fingertips. And through the legs, down to the ends of the toes. Bring the awareness to the head, to the brain, to the thinking brain. What is the mood there? What's the weather today? Sunny, stormy, partly cloudy? Just noticing, no judgment. Simply witnessing what is going on. And bringing the arms along the side. Inhale as arms rise slowly, fingers come out towards the walls. Inhale slowly up, letting palms come towards each other or touching. Pausing there for a moment. And exhaling down. Be at the center of the sun of the body. As you open up, and as you close it down. Then turning to the right hand, bring that hand up with the gaze up and around respecting the range of motion that your shoulder has from its full life of experience. Perhaps your awareness is in your shoulder. Then once about round the opposite direction and slowly down through viscous air. Other arm comes up. Bring it up with your gaze, reaching around. The awareness body is awake to celebration, and it's awake to pain. Bring it up in the back and down. Awake to all sides of the equation. Now bringing hands to the thighs, let the ear come over towards the shoulder, just gently in its range of motion. Inhale up as you lift up through the spine and the crown of the head, and exhale over. One more time on each side. Awake to the day as it is. Awake to wishing the day were different. Now, if you have anything high underneath you, remove it. And you might come onto a blanket. We're having such a warm, sunny day here. It's wonderful. Bring one hand back behind to the waist or to the small of the back with the hand, the palm outwards to the back. Inhale up through the crown and exhale forward. Careful of the shoulder. I feel a little twinge in mine. That's why I'm telling you that. Come forward just a bit with the other hand sliding across the floor. Inhale up and exhale over. Bring the other hand back around to where it's comfortable. Inhale up and exhale forward. Just as far as it's comfortable and hinging forward from the bottom of the spine at the hips. One more time, inhale up and exhale over. Coming back up, we're going to do a rotation. So let the torso come forward, over to the side and back, and over, making a full circle. Feeling the shoulders sliding from one side to the other, kind of opening in the front and closing a bit in the back. One more time round. And then we'll come around the opposite direction. This time you might come into your rib cage. What's that feel like as the ribs move their way around? And let this be the last one. And as we come back to center, bring the hands back behind. Good support for the shoulders with the full hands and fingers spread. Feet are wide. And we're going to do a slow windshield wiper this time. Just going slowly from side to side, moving deliberately. Finding a place for the awareness. Next time you come over, bring the hand around and pause for a moment as you reach back to the back corner. And slowly coming around, reaching to the other corner. And once again to each side. Next time we come around, bring hands behind the side of the hips or bring the head down onto the back of the hands. Coming into that awareness of the body, of the mind. Inhale back up, rolling over and coming to the other side. Relaxing into awareness. And bringing yourself back up, put the blanket aside. We're going to come up to a standing position. As you come up, ground down through your feet. Feel the balls of the feet and the heels and the outside sole of the foot. Feel the hips just above the heels, the shoulders above the hips. Bring the chin in just a bit so that the head is floating right on the top of the shoulders. Arms can be heavy. Bring the hands so that they are palms up on the top of the head. So palms are facing towards the ceiling. Inhale as you push up towards the sky. Fingers aren't quite touching. And exhale back down. Inhale up. And exhale back. Awake to vastness. Awake to constriction. And one last time. Awake to the sky. And awake back to our humble heads. Then bringing the hands down and around. Bring the weight into one foot. So establish a foundation leg. Good focal point here. Energy up through the body. This other leg doesn't have much weight in it at all. Bring the hand up on the side of the foundation leg. Gaze rises. Then arch the loose elbow and wrist over as you come into a side bend. Pause for a moment. Come out of that. Switch the foundation leg into the other side. Gaze and hand rise and come across. One more time on each side. Switch the foundation leg, reach up and be inside the mind and body. And coming last to the other side. Finding a still place to pause. And coming out of that, bring the feet wide. Toes are out at about 45 degrees. Hands come onto the thighs just above the knees. Bring the shoulder towards the opposite knee. Finding a spiral, particularly in the mid-spine. Aware of any creaking. Aware of what the mind is doing right now. And coming back through center, we'll do a cat-cow, letting the tailbone rise, and then tailbone come down, tuck a little bit as your back arches. Being inside that dance of movement. One last time. And come back through neutral. Now, standing with feet under hips, bring the hands to the back of the waist, to the kidney area. Come down across the buttocks and down the back of the legs. Then coming up the insides of the legs. Then bring the hands up, gaze rise to an easy looking up. Then turn the palms down and slowly bring that energy from the universe down into the body. Bringing the hands to the lower abdomen for just a pause at the end. Then hands come back behind the waist, down the back, up the sides. Gaze and arms rise. Gather the energy and bring it down. One last time. And take a breath here. Now we're going to row a boat. So we're out on the water and we bring our hands to the shoulders. You're taking the oars in your hands. Push forward with the oars, then bend the knees. The tailbone goes out a ways to the back, and then bring the oars in and stand up, and hands come up to the shoulders once again. Make a circular motion here as you would with oars. It becomes a bit of a squat as the tailbone goes out, giving yourself balance as the arms go forward and the hips give a balance in the back. One last time. As we merrily row our boat, or perhaps not, the awareness can handle whichever. And bring the feet a little wide. We're going to stretch up diagonally across the body. That heel in the back and the other side can come up. Then bring that back and the opposite hand comes down to the shin or the ankle or the foot. And reach up and bring it down. Knees stay soft. Awake to fear and ease and suffering. Come to the other side. This awareness consciousness is really trying to urge us to be witnesses to whatever is happening without judging it. Experiencing our life just as it is. Then one last stretch here. And down the leg. And up. Now we're going to pretend we have a big wheel in front of us and we're holding the top of the wheel here. As we come over, a kind of side bend as we bring the wheel over, then a bit of a forward fold as you come down over to the other side and up. Make the wheel just the size that is right for your body. Not overstraining, making the yoga fit your body. And then coming around the opposite direction, bring that wheel around. The wheel of life that indeed has all the ease and suffering that we go through. One last time around. And we come back and hands come down. For the next sequence, we're going to be coming into a warrior 3. So you might want a chair in front of you, up to you. We'll start with a nice big lazy side bend. Feet are wide, hand comes down the side of the thigh, and the other arm arches over. Just opening up. Where are you feeling this? And coming up through center, fingers reach out to the walls on either side. Knees are soft, hips a little soft as the opposite hand comes down towards the opposite ankle or shin, and the other arm lifts up. Strong through the belly as you lift back up, reach to horizontally, and then come down to the opposite side. Pause for a moment in the twist, then open, and one more time on each side. Strong as you lift up. This can be a little hard on the lower back. And so if it's too hard, keep your hand a little farther up on the shin and come back up. Now we're going to come into goddess. Feet are at 45 degrees. Find your place as far as how far apart you want your feet to be. Arms come into cactus. Come into the heart of the goddess. Inhale up, exhale back, up and back. Then bringing hands to the hips, turn towards the side where your chair is. One foot is forward and one foot is back, coming into a high lunge, and the front knee is bent. Find your place here. You might have the heel up in the back. Bring the elbows bent just behind the waist, and you have soft fists with the fingers up. Turn one fist and punch out as the elbow comes back on the opposite side. Then pull that back, both fists up, and the other fist turns down, and the opposite elbow goes back. Bringing all your intensity into this punch forward. Also balancing as thighs come in towards the hips. One more time on each side. This comes from Qigong and reflects the time when people didn't really have weapons. And so they had to practice in their exercise. We are going to bring the back foot to about 30 degrees. Front knee is still bent. If that bothers your hip, you can bring your toes straight in the back. First of all, bring your hand on the back leg glutes. Feel some hardness there, some activation of the glutes. Other hand is on the thigh in the front. Long through the tailbone, drawing up, chin in a bit, and long neck. Then opening from pelvis up through sternum, and gaze rises. Coming back, then hands come down, back behind, and arch up into warrior one. Reaching up, careful of your neck in the back, long in the back, and opening in the front. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring the arms down. We'll do it once more so you have a chance to be inside as you do this, and we'll do it quietly. And bring it down. Now step that back foot forward. Bring your hands to namaste at the chest. Bring the weight into one foot, establishing grounding and dynamic leg. Then teeter-totter over, back leg comes up just as much as is comfortable, just playing with getting used to that balance as you go back and forth. One more time, strong foundation leg. Next time you come over, arms might come back along the side. You can always have one hand on the chair if that helps. Reach back through the heel. You might bring your arms out flying like wings. You might bring the hands around. Arms might rest or hands might rest on the chair. If you are free, bring the fingers forward and the heel back long, and then soft in the knee. unwind. Pause and take a breath here. We'll do it on the other side. The weight comes into the other foot, and first we'll do the teeter-totter with the hands at the chest. Ground down through that foot, strong through the dynamic foundation leg, and just gently going back and forth, being your own human seesaw here. One last teeter-totter. Then bringing the arms along the side, adapting as you need to, reaching back through the heel, soft in the knee of the foundation leg, arms come wide. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe arms come forward using the chair. Stretch between fingers and heel. And come back around. I think in that one we are pure awareness because we can't think about anything else but what we're doing. Let's turn to the opposite direction. Other foot comes out and we'll come into the high lunge once again on this side. Heel might be up in the back. Make sure that the thighs are coming in towards the hips, so you have good balance. Then bringing the elbows back and fists turned up, turning one fist, punching out, bringing the elbow back in the back, bringing your gaze and intensity to that front fist as it comes forward and draws back. Let your awareness be with that intensity. And both arms come back. Turn the back foot to 30 degrees for a warrior one position. Hand comes back onto the glutes in the back and the thigh in the front. Long through the tailbone, tuck chin, and long through the back of the neck as you open from pelvis up through sternum. Eyes come up. Finding the back bend that respects the body and yet opens the front. Hands come along the side, arch up, reach up, and open, staying long in the back and lengthening in the front. Arms come down. And one more time with your witnessing consciousness. And bring it down. Now turn and bring the hands down in front of you about 2 to 3 feet. So we're bringing hands down to forward fold, but our hands are way in front of our feet. Staying here for just a minute. Then turning the heels in and maybe bringing the feet a little closer as you come back and come back into squat. So your hands might be on your knees or your elbows on your knees, not forcing anything. If it hurts to be down, you might be up a little bit. For 3, 2, and 1. And we'll come down onto a tabletop position. Letting your right hand be securely under the right shoulder, lift the left arm up, then bring it through under the armpit, body turns but doesn't come down, and opens up strong through the belly, supporting the back. And assuming the back muscles are also quite aware of the movement. One last time through. And bring the left arm down, left hand directly under that shoulder. Right arm comes up and goes through under the armpit, lifts up. Find a place for the awareness to rest. Bring the hand back, then bring knees wide and toes together. Let the hips come back onto the heels. Stretch the arms forward. Nice long stretch back through the body. Slide the hands back. Bring knees towards each other. They're parallel. And then heels and hips can meet once again, and arms come over to the side for a side stretch. Let the thinking mind be still. Just being the witness as you come across the center and over to the other side. Then we're going to come forward into a prone position. Let the hands be under the forehead resting on the hands. Engage the right glute. Engage the right glute. You can feel it engaging. And then lifting that leg for 5, just lifting a few inches. 4, right leg rises and falls. 3, 2, and 1. Relax the right glute and the right leg. Engage the left glute. Inhale, lift the leg and let it lower. Continue. 3, 2, and 1. Letting the glute know that it is needed in this world. Bring the hands around to the side. Palms are down on the mat. Maybe wiggle the hips around so that you're comfortable. Then raising head and shoulders, arms come out in an inverted V, palms out to the side and thumbs up. And come down. Once again, raise up head and shoulders, glutes alive, hamstrings alive, back muscles alive for 3, 2, and 1. Come down once again. And witnessing all the muscular action of this. Up again. 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Bring the hands up under the forehead again, and we're going to bring the knees wide and do a windshield wiper, a prone windshield wiper. Finding a comfortable place so that the hips can loosen up. Then bring them farther over on one side, roll over, and we'll come to a lying position. And as you lie back, let everything sink down into the earth. Awareness connecting with the awareness of the earth. Then bending the knees up over the hips. Fingers come to the outside back of the skull. Head is raised and one foot comes forward, one knee comes up to the chest, other leg extends out. Draw in a bit through the pelvic floor, strong with muscles just above the pelvis. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the head come back. Knees are still bent over the hips and the arms are wide coming out from the shoulders. Let the knees come down towards the floor, hover, and come up and over to the other side and up, back and forth. Awake to the strong muscles. Awake to the weak muscles. One last time over. Coming up through center. Bring the feet down. Shift the hips slightly over to the left. Knees rise up once again, then fall over to the right for a supine twist. Find a place where you can be comfortable, relaxing everywhere you can. Awake to any tense places that are also rather comfortably loosening up through this twist. Inhale, knees back up, feet come down, hips go over towards the right. Bent knees come again over the hips and over to the other side. Finding your place and coming back to that witnessing, the watching. Then lifting the knees back up. Bring the feet so that they are several inches below the buttocks. Arms are along the side. We're coming into moving bridge. Weight comes down into the soles of the feet and the shoulders as hips rise, glutes engage, hands come up and back overhead, just as far as works for you. And exhale, long exhale as arms slowly return, meet the hips, and letting the exhale go as hips and hands come down to the mat. Inhale, rise. Exhale. One last time. All attention inwards. Pause a moment for a breath. Give the knees a hug. Perhaps bring the nose up towards the knees, hugging everything in. Then straighten the legs up as if you're doing a downward dog. Arms go up and legs go up, and then bring it in again. So it's like a downward dog upside down on our backs. And one last time, awake to the vastness and awake to the constriction. And then we'll roll over and we're going to come up into a downward dog as we usually do it. So hands are in front of the shoulders, toes are tucked, raise the hips, bring the weight back over the feet, wide through the shoulder blades, paddle the heels, long through the spine, soft through the knees. And then for a moment, just coming to a still place. Come forward through plank. Energy coming down through the hands, up through the shoulders, back through the hips and through the heels. For 3, 2, and 1. Elbows come in, knees come down. We'll come into Sphinx for a moment. Press down through the hips, the front of the feet. Shoulder blades just gently surrendering down with gravity. Breathing into that full awareness of your life. Then slide the hands back under the shoulders, push back, curl into child's pose for a moment, rabbit with hands perhaps back on the feet. Then lifting up, we're going to come into gate pose. So coming up onto your knees, feel free to have a blanket under a knee if that feels good for you. And one leg comes out to the side. One arm reaches up. Nice wide side bend. As you come over, that top arm comes down, meets the mat, other arm reaches up, foot reaches out, radiating out from the heart, and coming back into the gate. Awake to infinite silence. And coming up through center, bring the knees together, other leg comes out. Arm rises and arches over. That top hand comes down. Lift up through the fingers, lift out through the heel. Feel yourself very large. And coming over once again. Awake to the confused cacophony of the conditioned mind. And one last opening up and coming over. We're going to come into downward dog once again, a brief downward dog. Lifting up, pausing for a moment as you stretch back through the spine. Bring the left foot centered under the hips. Right foot rises up. Push into the hands, into the foot, rise up a little bit more. Can you sense this foot up here behind you? Can you turn that ankle even a little bit? Then coming down on knees or bringing the bent knee under the arched back, bring the foot through and find your way into knee down lunge with the knee right under the hip. Find your balance here. Feel into this pose. How does it feel in the body you inhabit? Bring cactus arms, our goddess arms once again, perhaps coming again into that heart of the goddess. Then hands come back behind. Feel the hands as they interlace through the fingers. Arms rise just slightly as torso comes down towards the thigh. And two more times. Awake to seeking. Awake to the end of seeking. Release the hands. Bring one hand inside the hand of the front foot, the right hand, bring it inside that foot, open up. Then bring the upper hand down to the waist, tuck the back toes, and we're going to come up into warrior two. The hand might be on the knee as you come up, finding your place in warrior two. Feel the grounding of the feet, the energy of the earth coming up through the legs, up through the body, opening through the heart, fingers reaching out, gaze coming from behind the eyes over the fingers. This warrior that is in a battle to open complete awareness. One last inhale and exhale. Then bringing the hands to the hips, switch the feet and come into warrior two on the other side. Grounding through the feet, feeling the energy up through the body. Maybe flipping the palms to bring the shoulder blades down. And coming into your awareness. Bring the arms, windmilling them down on either side of the foot. And that foot comes back into downward dog. Just a comfortable downward dog here. Bring the right foot in under the hips. Left foot rises up. Press into the hands and the foot, rise up a little bit more. Bring your awareness up to that foot, up behind you, perhaps turning it at the ankle. Then we'll come into a lunge, perhaps down on the knees as you come through, or perhaps bringing the bent knee in under the chest and coming down into a knee down lunge position. Finding your balance here, bringing your awareness perhaps into this very core of your body in the abdomen and hips, and then coming into cactus. The awareness stabilizes us as well as widens us in our consciousness. And arms come back behind, feel them as they come down. Feel the fingers interlacing with each other. Feel the crown reaching up and then reaching forward as torso comes down towards thigh. And two more times. Just enjoying their awareness. Release the fingers. Left hand comes inside the left foot. Another arm opens out. Then bring that arm down. Bring hands around. Jump the feet in. And we'll come into a little squat here once again. Just finding your place in squat. For 3, 2, and 1. And bring your buttocks down. Extend legs out in front of you. Take a moment just to be in this staff pose, Dandasana. The bottom of the feet, the back of the legs, the buttocks, up the back, across the back of the skull, and down across the forehead into the roof of the mouth. Inhale, arms up to cactus, and inhale up through the crown as you come forward just a few inches from the base of the spine, sternum coming towards the toes. Inhale up Exhale forward, tuck in the tummy. And one last time, knees are soft as we do this. Coming forward, then letting the hands come to wherever they will. And coming into a C-spine, giving a little stretch between all of the vertebrae. Then straightening into your natural curves of the back with sternum coming towards the toes once again before you come up. Come into a twist. One foot comes up beside the thigh and perhaps over to the other side, extending out through the foot in front. Hand or forearm comes around that leg. Other hand is a kickstand back behind. Inhale up through the crown. Exhale as rib cage turns back. Inhale up. Exhale, shoulders turn slightly. They're all slight movements. Inhale up. And exhale, gaze and chin around. Resting in this spiraled awareness for a moment. Release and come around. We'll come to the other side, extending out through the extended heel, taking the foot up and over, hand or forearm, and kickstand behind. Inhale up and exhale round, continuing from bottom to top. Just about 70% of what you could do. Awake to your possibilities, awake to your limitations. Release and unwind. And we'll come down into a lying position. My awareness says it always feels good to lie back down. The motion and the stillness all together. Bend the knees and give the knees a hug up towards the chest. Then guide the knees over to the armpits and raise the feet as we come into happy baby. If it feels good to roll back and forth across the lower back here, please do. And then coming back through center, you might push up through one foot and bring it down, then push up through the other. Hands can be on the shins, ankles, or the bottom of the feet here. Stretching up. Then bringing your legs into a wide V, giving them some support. Spread the toes and close the toes. Open the toes and close them. Bring the legs together. Cross one thigh over the other, bending the knees. Hands come to the shins or around the calves. Just a lazy, relaxed eagle legs here. Enjoying some stretch on the sides of the quads, sides of the thighs. Unwind and do the same on the other side, other thigh coming over that thigh. Allowing yourself to float back into that glow of awareness. Then move any way you would like What does your body ask for? Doing anything that feels good for you. And then gradually coming into a resting position. You might be flat on the mat. You might have a blanket under your knees. Knees might be propped together, leaning together like a tent. Find a place where you can be very relaxed. Find some relaxation in the middle of your forehead and back into your brain cavity. Relax down through the stem of the brain. Down through throat into heart and lungs. Soft through stomach, small intestines, large intestines. Glutes puddled against the mat, soft in the back of the thighs and knees and calves. Witnessing the bottoms of the feet, the big toe, the little toe, witnessing the palms of the hands, the thumbs, and the little fingers. Soft through forearms, inner elbows, up through the shoulders, relaxing through the back of the neck, up the back of the skull, opening to the warmth of the day through the crown of the head. Pure awareness. Stay here if you'd like. Hope you're coming back into your day. Lengthen your breathing and bring some movement to fingers and toes. Perhaps roll wrists and ankles. Slowly, deliberately coming back in. If you'd like to gently give your legs a hug. Bringing any intention from yoga that you would like to bring into your day. And rolling over, if you're coming up, come into a brief sitting position or stay relaxed. May we be safe. May we be spacious to see all sides. May we be aware, and may we witness our lives. Namaste. Really good to practice with you. Hi, Courtney and Paula and Mira.
Почему-то я зашла. Thank you.
You're